All right, let's talk about the future of marketing. Because in a world that is just getting flooded with AI, it is so easy to get distracted by all the noise. But what if all that noise is actually creating one of the biggest opportunities for real human marketers in like a generation?
Does this sound familiar? Yeah, if you're feeling this, you are definitely not alone. There's this growing exhaustion from the endless stream of robotic, kind of impersonal content. It feels like we're being sold to 24/7 by machines, and that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
So, first, let's just define the problem we're all facing. It's not just that there's more stuff online. I mean, that's been true for years. The real issue is the kind of content that's starting to dominate everything. Let's call it the soulless content problem.
For a while now, marketing's felt kind of stuck in a rut. You know the stuff I'm talking about. The basic how-to guides, the same old listicles, these plug-and-play templates. It felt like everyone was just saying the exact same thing. And then boom, AI shows up and just throws gasoline on the fire, amplifying this copycat problem to a whole new level. And this creates a huge challenge for all of us. We're no longer just scrolling past boring content. We're actively questioning where it even came from. You stop and you think, wait, was this written by an actual person with real experience? Or was it just generated in 2 seconds by a machine? That one question completely changes how we trust anything we see online. But here's the thing. While everyone is so focused on the threat of AI, they're missing the plot twist. This whole soulless problem isn't just a problem, it's creating a massive opportunity that's hiding in plain sight. All the constant buzz around new AI tools and automation, honestly, it's a huge distraction. It's like a magician making you look at one hand while the real trick is happening somewhere else entirely. And this is the central idea right here. The more soulless, automated junk that's out there, the more valuable genuine human skills become. I'm talking about things like communication, storytelling, critical thinking. These are suddenly at an absolute premium. In a world of fakes, being real is your ultimate advantage. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The data is screaming this at us. The number of job postings on LinkedIn in the US that specifically ask for a storyteller has doubled. Companies aren't just looking for people to churn out content. They're looking for people who can create a real human connection. And it's not just about who they're hiring either. A recent study found that 55%, over half, of employers who laid off workers to replace them with AI now regret it. Why? Because they realize they lost something irreplaceable, that human touch that their business literally can't run without. And finally, just look at the freelance market. There has been a massive 260% jump in freelance hires over the last 2 years. Businesses are actively hunting for real people with real skills because they're learning that automation is just a tool. The real goal has always been connection. So, how do you actually capitalize on this shift? Well, it all comes down to three key pillars. The first one is authenticity. And I know, it's a buzzword, but it's not just a buzzword anymore. It is your most powerful strategic advantage in a marketplace that is drowning in AI noise. This brings us to a really cool concept called proof of humanity. Think about it. In a world of flawless, perfect AI content, it's our imperfections, our quirks, and our unfiltered moments that actually signal that we're real. And because we're real, we're trustworthy. Those little mistakes, the unpolished photos, the real voices, these are the new signs of authenticity. A typo in an Instagram story might actually get more engagement than a perfectly polished post, precisely because it proves a human was behind it. The era of the faceless corporate brand is fading. Fast. Consumers are just tired of it. They want to connect with real people, with personal brands they can actually relate to and trust. I mean, at the end of the day, a logo can't share a vulnerable story, but a person can. And that leads us directly to our second pillar, trust. If authenticity is your advantage, then trust is the currency you earn with it. The old tactics of hype and over-the-top urgency are losing their power. Today, trust is the single biggest predictor of whether or not someone will buy from you. Just look at these two approaches. The one on the left is that classic hype ad, right? It's vague, it's full of exaggerated promises. But the one on the right, that's built on trust. It's clear, it's honest, and it manages your expectations. It's not selling you a magic pill, it's selling you a credible process. So which one feels safer to buy? I mean, it's a no-brainer, right?
In today's super skeptical market, buyers aren't looking for the most exciting promise anymore. They're looking for the safest bet. And the message that builds trust through honesty and transparency, that's the one that wins, every time. So what does good marketing really look like now? Well, it explains the process instead of exaggerating the claims. It shows you real results instead of just telling you how great it is. It's all about being honest and answering those tough questions right up front. And that brings us to our final pillar. In a world where AI can generate an infinite amount of content, the old game of just producing more and more, well, that game is over. The new focus is all about the quality of the connection you build with your audience. The whole model for social media has fundamentally shifted. It used to be a broadcast medium, right? A megaphone, where brands would just shout their message to as many people as possible. But now it's all about starting personalized conversations. People don't want to be talked at anymore, they want to be talked with. And look, this isn't just some feel-good philosophy, it's a technical reality. Platforms like Instagram have been very clear. They don't just reward surface-level stuff like likes anymore. Their algorithms now prioritize the deeper signals of engagement, things like shares, saves, and DMs. Those are the actions that prove a real connection was made. So, the key takeaway from all of this is actually really simple. In a world that's being filled with AI, the answer is not to try and out-automate the machines. Trust me, that is a race you will never, ever win. The real path forward is to double down on what makes you human. Your stories, your imperfections, your quirks, and your unique ability to build genuine trust and connection. That is your unautomatable advantage. As AI gets better and better at mimicking us, the most important question in marketing isn't about strategy or tactics anymore. It's about authenticity. So the question I want to leave you with is this. How will you prove to your audience that there's a real, living, breathing person on the other side of the screen?